We're like, what, less than a minute into this thing? So poetic.
The One Piece awaits, a treasure untold. Boundless possibilities, stories unfold. Knocks and cheers as Luffy sets sail into the unknown where legends prevail. The grand line calls a place of wonder. Adventure awaits, lightning and thunder. I am not
Hey everyone, how's it going? Noxidar here, and welcome to the next reaction of One Piece. Today we're starting with episode 78, and we're starting an entire new arc, the Drum Island arc, which is the last little bit that I need to see and have covered to be up to speed for when the live action season 2 for One Piece comes out. After I get through this arc, there's a couple of other material and interviews and things that Netflix has produced with regards to the live action for season 2 that I want to cover as well, from casting announcements, interviews, things like that. Things that once I'm a little more familiar with, I can really kind of dive into and enjoy because I at least know the material that's covered there. It's pretty early in the morning, so my mind hasn't been racing enough for me to ramble on about something for like an extra couple minutes. So let's go ahead and get right to our reaction. Oh, that's so cool. That's not. Karoo, look where you're going. A flightless bird that's scared of flight. Poetry. They are pretty dang strong, I'll give them that. Ooh. What a shot. Oh my goodness. We're like, what, less than a minute into this thing? So poetic. That's so cool. Wait a minute, I think I've seen somebody on Twitter post like a behind the scenes shot from like a million miles away, and I'm pretty confident it was that ship's figurehead. That's exciting. Oh, we get to see even more of them. That was the house. I don't even know what style of humor you would consider this. Ironic humor? Like, it must be, because here we see the parallels between Sanji and Zoro's hunting rivalry, and then also we get to see it right here played out on an even larger scale amongst Dory and Brogy. And even though like they're not even that many episodes apart, the way that it just like builds on top of each other, it feels like an inside joke between you and I, and also Eiichiro Oda and all of us. And it's like an inside joke that we can share while we're enjoying a story that's taking place that is, you know, in regards like this, semi-serious but also cheeky as a result of that inside joke. And it's like so many different levels of humor and storytelling, and everything just kind of coalesce and comes together to create this incredible experience. It is now 4:29 in the morning, and I am already going on an insane adventure. I could not think of a better place to be at 4:29 in the morning than being wide awake, alert, and learning the backstory of the giant warrior pirates. What a life we live.
つどうも思い出せんことがある。
いや実を言うと俺もだ。
お
真ん中山が。
まあよい、とにかく決着をつけるぞ。
おおがいるのはそれか。
oh no.
みんな、俺はな、いつか絶対にエルバフへ選手の村へ行くぞ。
People in the comments have told me that's true. That's very true. Pretty close.
なんだか私さっきのでどっと疲れちゃった。これ指針見ててくれる？
今や国民たちに王のあなたの父上の顔は聞かない。あなたの口から直接真実を語る他にこの暴動を鎮める手立てはないのです。だからあなたは決して死んではならない。周りのどんな犠牲を払おうとも党を裏切ろうとも生き延びるビビ王女。死なない覚悟は終わりですか？
What a question. Are you prepared not to die? But it is fantastic to be able to see in these flashbacks, not just the political upheaval of the situation that is kind of pushing the narrative along, but also to kind of get that kind of background of Vivi as a princess and less of a member of Baroque works. So I'm here for it.
必ず生きてアラバスタ。
そう力むことはねえよ、ビビちゃん。俺がいる。おめえらの分はきっちんだ。
I love the chaos aboard this ship. It's so good.
あのどうせ切れてりゃ誰を手惑らせることもなかった。強くならにゃ。
I'm weak.
体勢でもぶった切れるように。
There's almost this kind of equal parts inspiring and equal parts tragic to Zoro's character as he's moving through these obstacles. I mean, we saw him just absolutely decimate the Baroque works, right? Like, just so everybody could get a chance to sleep. The dude puts everything on his back if he can and more. So to be put in a situation where he feels vulnerable, a lot of people in their moment of weakness, in their moment of failure, people tend to kind of retreat into themselves and they kind of accept that failure into the fold. Where Zoro, he kind of like pushes it from himself so that it becomes a goal to strive toward. But the tragic part of it is that, you know, always knowing that you can push yourself, but you'll never know how far to push yourself. You just know that you need to be able to cover every single instance so that you can, you know, mitigate ever feeling that those feelings of failure ever again. And it makes him actually such a compelling character, especially in a moment like this. And it's one of the reasons, like, looking back in like Dragon Ball Z, as much as I loved Goku and I loved Gohan and I loved all these characters, like Prince Vegeta was like my absolute favorite, because that was kind of, you know, that was kind of his curse. He's incredibly gifted, he's incredibly talented, but he will always feel like he pales in the shadow of others where he knows he can push himself, and he uses those feelings instead of like just living in that state to try to change the state that he's living in. And those characters are the ones that deeply inspire me to try to persevere, to try to push myself, to create new limits and take myself to a whole new level. I know it seems like such a small scene, but like that's what's so great about watching shows like this, is that even sometimes in the smallest minute details, they have the biggest implications if you stop and take a moment to really dwell on them, to really kind of just chew on it and not just passively let the moment slip by and go, yeah, guy with green hair had big weights and he moved them a lot. He must be heavy. You know, I'm really trying to pull something out, if I can, of each episode and take something with me, especially when I'm starting it at 4 a.m, something I can kind of chew on and think about throughout the day as the day goes on, and really how I can kind of take these lessons and put them into my life. So I hope it's something that you, as you watch these different shows, it doesn't have to be just this one, just when you kind of take in medium of storytelling, no matter the medium, that you have these moments where you can say, what can I take from this? And what can I add to myself as a result of it? But anyways, it was cool seeing guy with green hair and big weights. Must be heavy. It's pretty cool. Sandy Island.
わかったわよ。もううるさいわね。なんでこのアーティシーが
Mr. Two?
最後見出したなさいよ。あん、ちょ。4はなんていうのかしら。ふう。世話の焼けるゼロちゃんね。
Bro, I'm gonna love him. I'm gonna love this character. He's gonna make me laugh so much.
大丈夫？ナミさんがひどい熱よ。
ナミさんか
They're definitely gonna need a ship's doctor.
ナミさん死ぬのかなビビちゃん
Oh my gosh, get a grip.
おそらく気候のせい、グランドラインに入った船乗りが必ずぶつかるという壁の一つが異常気象による発病。
You're going from like extreme heat, extreme cold, extreme humidity, extreme dryness. Yeah.
この船に少しでも医学をかじってる人はいないの？
でも肉食えば治るよ病気は。
基本的な病人食は作るつもりだがよ。あくまで看護の領域だよ。そもそも普段の航海中か俺はナミさんとビビちゃんの食事にはてめえらの評判がいい。
What an admission.
腐りかけた食い物がちゃんとおめえらにっておいとにかく
Jeez.
俺がこの船のコックである限り普段の栄養の摂取に関しては一切問題を起こさねえ。
アラバスタへ着けば当然医者はいるだろ。あとどれくらいかかるビビ？
わからないけど、1週間では無理。
I was kind of wondering about that because they have the eternal pose to get them to Alabasta. However, this arc is called Drum Island arc, and I'm like, something's got to set them off course or some reason. And so I'm starting to get a hint that this might be that reason they don't go right to Alabasta right away. Oh, not what you need right now.
私のデスクの引き出しに新聞があるでしょ。
なんだどうした？
アラバスタのことかビビちゃん。
国王軍の兵士30万人が反乱軍に寝返り、国王軍60万、反乱軍40万の鎮圧戦だった。これでアラバスタの暴動はいよいよ本格化するわ。あんたに見せても船の速度は変わらないから不安にさせるよりもと思って隠しといたの。わかった、ルフィ。
大変そうな印象を受けた。
思った以上に伝わってよかった。
でもお前医者に見てもらわないと。
平気、その体温計壊れてんのね。40度なんて人の体温じゃないもん。チャリなんてかかんなくても勝手に治るわ。
お、なんだ治ったのか。バカ、強がりだ。
このままじゃじきに国中で大量の血が流れる。それだけは阻止しない。アラバスタ王国はもう終わりだ。クロコダイルに乗っ取られちゃう。一刻も早く帰らなきゃ。
なんちゅうもんを背負ってんだビビちゃん。
That would be so hard to imagine going back to your kingdom, but just as you're about to get there, to realize that, like she said, a cold war has now become a hot war, and who knows what they're going to arrive to at that point. The level of destruction, like she said, the amount of bloodshed that'll be there as a result of it.
あんた一体何見てたの？
何って船はまっすぐ進んでたぞ。
直角にまっすぐね。この指針をちゃんと見てよ。空気が変わった。
空気ずっと変わらねえ晴天だぞ。
いいからみんなを呼んで。
てめえら出てこい。仕事だ。シートについて左舷から風受けろ。何事だナミさん。波も静かでいい天気だぜ。
風、正面から大きな風が来る。多分ね。
Oh.
あ、ジーズお前、やっぱ船止めて医者に行こう。
平気だって言ってるでしょ。
ナミ、お前やっぱり。
いいから早く船を動かして。嵐とは少し違うみたい。
Man, Nami really has that like Nihonjinron spirit, doesn't she? Quintessential Japanese work ethic. I mean, I experienced a little bit of this when I was teaching English in Japan. I'd have days where I was just like drag out sick, and I definitely shouldn't have been there. People would look at me and they'd be like, "Oh, Teddy Sensei, you don't look so good. You must not feel good." Yeah, true. Then they would ask, They'd be like, did you finish teaching all your classes today? Okay, now you may go home. Is your work done? Okay, now you may help yourself. So I totally get what Nami is experiencing here, and just that drive to see this thing through, to put how you feel about yourself aside, and even almost to the point of, it's not ignorance. She knows she's sick. Everybody knows she's sick. It's really just that like obstinance to push all of that out of your mind and just have that clear drive toward one singular purpose. I totally admire that about her, but everybody's concern for her well-being is also, you know, of merit and consideration. So it's interesting. We'll see how far this illness actually takes itself. I'm curious. There we go. Yep, get to your seat. Jeez. Ooh. That'll help. Oh, that won't help. It's weird. Huh? Same Luffy. Me too. Huh? I saw this post on Instagram, and it was this guy looking out the window, and he's like, everybody talks about how exciting it is to have like 1,000 episodes of One Piece to watch, but nobody tells you about the pain you experience when you go from like watching 10 episodes a day to having to wait weekly for the next episode. I am currently in the former camp at the moment, as you can see, really padding it out by waiting between recordings. But today we get to move on to the next one, episode 79. Let's do it. That's pretty random, but we were told to expect that in the Grand Line. Oh, what? That's so cool. He just disenchanted that entire knife with his mouth. That's crazy. Oh. Huh? Don't eat that. Exactly. Good job, Usopp. Way to draw their fire. We were definitely missing the Sanji Muso mode from the last arc, so it's really nice to see this finally. Oh. Some pirate warriors action going on here. The munch fruit? That guy better hope he lands on an island. I can actually respect this because they care enough about their crew that they are mounting now a rescue mission. I mean, they're gonna remember every time they look at the missing piece of their ship. Ooh, back to the Marines.
事なひたすら両技者歌手
I'm so happy to see these two. That's amazing.
ミスターゼロだ。王女ビビと麦わら一味は
麦わらの一味
ああ、任務は完了した通り指令状により以上だ。
ゼロ犯罪組織知らんな。当てずっぱでものを言うな。
ならば、お前のポケットに入っていた指令状は何だ。
指令状はちゃんと燃やしたはず。
Ooh.
俺はその
What was it?
てめえのポケットには何もなかったよ。
Well played, Smoker.
本部と連絡を取ってエターナルフォースを手に入れろ。はい、行ってみようじゃねえか。砂の王国、アラバスタ。
Man, just like Logtown, I feel like all these kind of powers that be are kind of descending upon it. And so we have everybody kind of spread out, and then we're bringing it all in, and another storm is on its way, is what it kind of feels like. Ooh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous, gorgeous backgrounds. One of these days, I would love to do an interview with my father, who was a submariner in the United States Navy, and kind of do a lot of questions about his love of the sea. A lot of the ideas of becoming a pirate, of joining the crew, of a life at sea, was almost in the way that the ocean and everything is romanticized. And so to see the sun like this and everything, it makes me think of those lyrics in Wish You Were Here by Incubus. I think they say the ocean looks like 1,000 diamonds strewn across a blue blanket. And I love Incubus because they're so poetic with their lyrics, but that's almost exactly what an image like this conjures to me. And so I'd love to sit down with my father and actually listen to him kind of talk about how, you know, we're kind of landlocked where we are now. So to hear him kind of talk about his experiences at sea, what he loved about it, and what that life of being a sailor is like. It's the closest thing I've got around me to a pirate. And I'd love to put some kind of One Piece content out that is not pertaining necessarily to the anime, the live action or anything like that, but kind of like along those lines of, again, like I talked about earlier in the last episode that we watched, how we can kind of take things and add it to our life. I will probably wait until my family and I finish watching season 2. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to react to season 2. And then I will probably go back through it with my family and just kind of watch it and enjoy it and kind of see what their experiences are. And then, yeah, I'd love to set up like an interview with my father to kind of hear a sailor's perspective. I think that would be super cool. Ooh. At least it's not 3 a.m. That's the witching hour. Everybody's sleeping there. That's great. I love that he's using his goggles as like a sleep mask. I know I'm pausing a lot. People are going to tell me that in the comments. But I really love how, I almost called him Jacob, Usopp's love for the Mary, but also his, like, he does have this drive to want to make things happen. And, you know, honestly, he often analyzes things and sees that they're, you know, above or beyond his means. And so he takes like a tactful retreat, mind you, all a part of his grand strategy. But to see that similar nature kind of manifest itself also with things like maintenance or the way he goofs with Luffy, and they kind of share that personality together. But then the moment things get very serious, like Usopp's right there to bring Luffy and his kind of silliness down with him, he kind of acts a lot like the heart of this crew. And I know that's something that people kind of talked about and threw around, especially when I was watching season 1 of the live action. But I think right there, and especially within these last 2 episodes, is really kind of highlighted what that means. That the heart of the ship doesn't just mean a goofball. It actually really means someone who is able to match the energies of everyone around them to be what they need in that moment. And I think that that is just a profound character development that I really hope we get to see highlighted and illustrated within season 2, as well as having his heroic moment, whatever it may be. And this time everybody gets to see it. That would be awesome too. But just these like more tender moments, I think, will really draw out just how much and how appreciated this character really should be. Yeah, right here.
注意して水平線を見てて、近くに冬島があるのよ、きっと。冬島？気象学的にはね、グランドラインの島々は4種類に分類されるの。夏島、春島、秋島、冬島。
Naturally.
そしてそれぞれの島には大体四季がある。グランドラインを航海するには最低でも夏島の夏から冬島の冬まで16段階の季節を克服していかなきゃならない。島があったぞ
！Oh, let's go. Man, there for a second, that rumble of like the, I guess they would be like timpanis or something that were like playing right there. And with like the lower strings, just to kind of like set the mood that, again, it's like this kind of amalgamation of like mystery and adventure. And, you know, going back to the original chapter 1, right? Romancing Dawn or something like that. It does. It has that air of adventure, of coming adventure, rather, even. Not necessarily adventure that's here. Oh, I don't know about that, Sanji. Yeah, I'm liking this new soundtrack. And those horns? Oh my goodness. I was gonna say, that's pretty cold. Well, that was easy. They came right to us. Good job, Luffy. Ooh. Oh no. Oh no, and I gotta go to work. I'm gonna have to watch some more when I get home from work. That was so cool. I love these moments of travel and seeing the kind of family dynamic of the crew. I know I talked about this a lot before, but especially really kind of like I was saying earlier, I really wanted to highlight just how cool it is to see Usopp kind of be that that mediator between everybody's different sensibilities and different personalities, and to kind of see how he accentuates those different, for lack of a better term, flavors amongst the crew as well. So we've made it to a snow island. We've got people, and now they're threatening us. What more could you ask for in a life of adventure, am I right? But yeah, we'll have to save that for another episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this reaction as much as I had fun watching and reacting to this. There's so many different things that I tend to think of. I think I'm actually a little bit mellower earlier in the morning, go figure. But especially in terms of like where my thoughts are, I feel like maybe they're a little more focused, a little less scatterbrained. We'll see. We'll see how that shows up in the editing though. But for now, that's all the time we have for today. I'll see you in the next one. This is Noxidar out. We'll see ya. Have a good one.